right? But and I don't want to misspeak, but it just seems like it's because I've experienced that people can, and maybe not for Floyd, so let me just preface that. It's like people can put you in opportunities because they can, but it's all to help them out. And then when you're not useful for them no more, they want to throw you to the wayside.
Yeah, I mean, it just once you get around someone, you be looking up to these people so bad, and like once you get around,
you know, he the one told Frank that I was running at 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. He told Frank that. He was giving Frank tips and stuff like that. But I knew for sure that wasn't going to be enough to beat me. It's cool. It's all right. I don't really think too much of it. He's not going to hurt me. You know what I mean? So it's good to beef with him than be cool with him because he can do some crazy stuff. He'll put you in bad situations.
What set you off that you was like, I gotta do that?
A lot of people don't know that what Floyd do. He said.
So you feel like it was a sub, like he was subbing you, like, oh, like
he was going at me. He was going at me, and I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went at him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cause I feel like y'all got, I would say love, hate, but it's been like the last interview you showed them love. This week it was whatever. But is that sometimes like, you know, is it just like big bro, little bro seeing things different, or what is it to you?
No, Floyd don't never. He felt as though I'm at that point where as though I passed him, and I'm doing it at a young age. Wait, like when Floyd was 29, you'll see, bro.
Yeah.
That deal that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's a part of
deal. He don't know about that yet, but that's bigger than his deal.
Damn. Wow.
And I'm just releasing it.
Exclusive. That's exclusive. Bigger than Floyd deal.
Yeah.
Tank, don't cap, nigga. That's a lot of bread.
You'll see. It's gonna come out.
Tank Davis is clowning the man who made him.
My career.
Yeah, it wasn't a downfall of my career. I mean, our relationship, because it was more things that he was doing, like.
And Floyd Mayweather, the guy who once called himself the best ever, the man who printed t-shirts about his own money, the man who literally named his brand the Money Team, is out here getting dragged on the internet by his own former fighter.
Skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Like, nobody. I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd. Like, if I'm on my game. I take that back. Probably hand in hand. But skill-wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody.
So what happened? How did we get here? Let's start with the money, because that's where everything begins with Floyd.
One of the Jewish world's most unexpected alliances is taking a major hit, and I'm not talking about in the boxing ring. Floyd Mayweather, the boxing legend and Israel ally, is now suing the very man that many people say brought him into the Jewish world in the first place, his former friend and manager, Jonah Rechnitz. Yeah, Mayweather is suing Rechnitz for $175 million, accusing his former manager of fraud in a lawsuit that follows jets, jewelry, and private financing. One of the really interesting parts of this lawsuit is actually the jewelry. Mayweather is accusing or alleging that Rechnitz used about $100 million of his jewelry to put down collateral on a $13 million loan without Mayweather knowing. Rechnitz says that is not true, and he actually has the text to prove that Mayweather did know about this and did approve it. But for a man whose nickname is Money, Mayweather certainly has...
Floyd Mayweather filed a civil lawsuit in Manhattan Supreme Court on May 22nd, 2026. The target is a man named Jonah Rechnitz, his former investment manager and real estate advisor. And Floyd is accusing him of running a multi-year fraudulent scheme that allegedly drained over $175 million from his accounts. Think about that number for a second, $175 million. This wasn't some random person off the street. Rechnitz was someone Floyd trusted with his money, his jewelry, his real estate deals, and allegedly even his Gulfstream private jet. You know, the one with Mayweather painted on the side in big letters. According to the lawsuit, Rechnitz pressured Floyd to sign a bill of sale for that jet with the buyer's name left blank, and Floyd apparently never received a single dollar from the sale. The lawsuit also claims that in July 2024, Rechnitz transferred $7 million from Mayweather's companies to a Florida LLC controlled by a man named A.L. Frist, money that was supposedly for a 12-month investment that never happened. Floyd is now suing both Rechnitz and Frist. He wants his money back, punitive damages on top, and a full accounting of where every dollar went. Now, here's the thing about Yona Rechnitz that makes this story even wilder. This man already has a criminal history. He pleaded guilty to honest services wire fraud in connection with a New York City bribery scandal involving former Mayor Bill de Blasio's administration. He was sentenced to 5 months in prison and 5 months of house arrest back in 2019. This was public knowledge. So
you need to know.
His Honor defending himself against the testimony of one of his biggest campaign donors, real estate developer Jonah Rechnitz, that he was part of a pay-to-play scheme at City Hall.
I covered this very clearly. He said things aren't true about me.
On his third day of testifying in the bribery trial of former correction union boss Norman Seabrook, Rechnitz again talked about his weekly contact with de Blasio through email, text, phone calls, and communication through the mayor's campaign finance director Ross Offinger. In court, Rechnitz admitted to gifting Offinger with paid hotel accommodations for a vacation in the Dominican Republic. When pressed,
the question people have been asking since this lawsuit dropped is, how did a man with that kind of paper trail end up managing Floyd Mayweather's investments in 2024? That's the question nobody has a clear answer for right now. And here's the thing, the Rechnitz lawsuit is just the headline. It's not the only legal problem Floyd is dealing with. Earlier in 2026, Floyd filed a separate $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and his former manager, Al Heyman, accusing them of a prolonged scheme of financial deceit that he claims cost him hundreds of millions in earnings over the course of his career. He has also reportedly been hit with a separate $4.65 million lawsuit from another party around the same time the Rechnitz case became public. Multiple financial fronts are open at the same time. And then on top of all this, Floyd has been dealing with a paternity case that made headlines earlier this year. So you have $340 million here, $175 million there, a $4.65 million lawsuit over somewhere else. And the internet is watching every single filing drop. The man who called himself Money is in the middle of a legal war over money.
Do you think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah. That's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money?
And it's been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money is gone, trust me. Now it's like, if you call him, he'll be at your local hosting in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
You knew 50 Cent was going to show up. He always does. When the news of the $175 million fraud broke, 50 posted almost immediately with the caption, "Told you, let me read the contracts." He's been saying this for years. Every time Floyd gets into a financial dispute, Curtis Jackson pops up with some version of the same message. You didn't read your contracts, you didn't watch your money, I told you. And honestly, at some point, when the same person keeps saying, "I told you so," and the same person keeps getting into the same type of situation, you have to at least consider that they have a point. 50 and Floyd have had a public feud going back years, but 50 Cent has consistently positioned himself as someone who reads every line of every contract. And he's used Floyd's legal troubles as proof that not understanding your finances will cost you, no matter how much you make.
Yeah, that's a tough one, and I've talked to him about it, but I don't know enough about it. You hear all these different stories. I think you have to wait to see how this thing's going to play out in court for him. But when somebody works as hard as he did, and amasses the type of wealth that he had, and then they lose it or it gets stolen or whatever the deal is, it's horrible, and it happens a lot in professional sports. Who knows? Anything is possible. Maybe we could do something and figure it out for him.
Dana White did not stay quiet either. At a Zuffa boxing press conference, Dana was asked about the Mayweather situation. He called it horrible if the money was truly lost or stolen, and then said something that surprised a few people. Maybe we could do something and figure it out for him. Dana White offering to help Floyd Mayweather is a sentence that would have sounded very strange 5 years ago. These two have had their own history of public disputes. But here, Dana genuinely sounded like someone who felt bad about what happened, regardless of any personal differences. It also says something about how significant the loss appears to be. When Dana White is extending an olive branch, the situation must look serious from the outside.
Tell Floyd to get on live. Tell him show where he at. You owe them people over in Dubai that money. Tell him get on live right now. And he owe people in Saudi Arabia money too. Out here scamming. On live right now.
Now here is where Gervonta Davis enters the picture, and he comes in with zero mercy. Tank went on social media and said, "Somebody tell Floyd to come out. Put him in alive. He owes people money. He's scamming them." Those are not quiet words. That's not a coded message or a subtle shade. That's a direct public call out. And then there's the viral video we talked about in the title. Tank posting content that is clearly aimed at mocking Floyd, with the timing of it landing right in the middle of all these fraud headlines. Boxing fans picked up on it immediately, but Tank's shots at Floyd are not new. They come with a lot of history, and to really understand why this feels personal, you have to go back to 2022.
Someone you be looking up to these people so bad, and like once you get around, they don't be who they say they is or who they portray to be. You be like, damn, it's damn near like it's a letdown. So you be more so hurt off, So it's like I just go my own way, like I do my own thing and things like that. So that's more so that's what it was, and that's cool. It's just like you just don't vibe with like what they on. And that's
Gervonta Davis was signed to Mayweather Promotions from the start of his career. Floyd was his promoter, his mentor, the man he called Uncle. When Tank won his first world title, Floyd was in the building. But over time, the relationship soured. Davis said on the J Hill Network, "I feel skill-wise mine are way better than Floyd's if I am on my game. No one fighting today that you see on TV is going to beat me." That quote alone tells you where his head was at. Davis officially confirmed his split from Mayweather Promotions in May 2022, saying he was out of his contract and ready to run his own career. He said there were no hard feelings publicly, but the beef that came after made it clear that was not the full story.
Nothing lasts forever. I will always love Tank. I like him, love him, look at him like a son. He has to do what's best for him. I feel like I've done a great job thus far. I mean, just building him and putting him in good fights, great fights. And he's steady growing, he's steady learning, and I'm proud of him.
Floyd's version was different. Mayweather had his own things to say about Tank's departure, and there were reports of money disputes. Davis later said on social media that Floyd had taken money from him, that Floyd wanted to continue to take money from me, and that he and his new team with Al Heyman's outfit were the ones who shut it down. Davis also made a claim that Floyd tried to set him up early in his career, reportedly connected to a personal issue involving Floyd's daughter allegedly trying to contact Tank. Davis said he felt like Floyd was using the situation to derail him professionally. These two do not have a small falling out. This is a years-long situation with money, business, and personal matters all tangled up together. When Tank goes online and posts that video, when he calls Floyd out,
I appreciate him. I appreciate him for what he done, because he did, he did help me out. He definitely helped me out, but it was more so like, he would say that he gave me like money to get my mom out the hood, but me being from the hood, 10, 15,000, that's not, after a couple months, she gonna be back in the hood, and I'm gonna be back asking you for money. Nah, why would I do that? I give her a couple dollars, feel me? And I take some whatever, whenever you need some money, You feel me? But when I was legit to be able to get out the hood, that's what I did.
And says Floyd owes people money, there's a context to it that casual fans might miss. This is a guy who feels like Floyd profited off him for years, who felt like the promoter relationship was not balanced, who left the situation feeling like money was taken from him. And now he's watching the man who used to talk about being the money team, fighting in court to recover his own money from a fraud case. You can understand why that produces a certain kind of reaction. It doesn't make it professional. It probably doesn't help anyone. But the feelings behind it are not random. There's a real history there.
It's always lights, camera, action. That's what I'm gonna tell you. If you're doing good, they got something to say. If you're doing bad, they got something to say. So, do what makes you happy. Because you see this jet, you see this private jet that we own? I got it because I did what I wanted to do. I made over $1 billion, you know why? Because I did what I wanted to do. I'm gonna always tell Tank, do what you wanna do.
Boxing fans are split on this. Some people think Tank is out of line. Floyd is dealing with a genuine fraud situation. He's the victim in the Rechnitz case. Mocking a man for getting defrauded feels like punching down, even if you have beef with that person. On the other side, the people who support Tank's reaction point to what they see as Floyd's own history of taking money from fighters under Mayweather Promotions and say this is just karma showing up. This whole situation hits differently because of who Floyd was. Floyd Mayweather went 50-0 as a professional boxer. He is one of the best defensive fighters who ever lived. He built a brand around wealth, the stacks of cash, the watches, the cars, the jet, in a way that was genuinely unprecedented in boxing. He claimed over $1.2 billion in career earnings. He called himself TBE, the best ever. That brand made him a target for a certain type of person. When you are loud about your money, when your whole identity is built around being rich, people who want to take advantage of you pay attention. A man with Rechnitz's background should never have had access to $175 million in assets belonging to any athlete. But the louder you are about your money, the more attractive a target you become. That's not a shot at Floyd. That's just the reality of how these fraud situations work. Trusted people get close. They know the numbers, and then they move.
Floyd Mayweather is facing 2 felony charges for allegedly writing a $200,000 bad check to buy a luxury watch. Court records show the boxer was charged in April with theft as well as drawing and passing a check without sufficient funds with the intent to defraud. Prosecutors allege that in 2024, Mayweather wrote the check to a designer resale store in Las Vegas, despite not having enough funds in his Wells Fargo bank account. Mayweather's attorney and representatives did not immediately return the Associated Press request for comment. The case is scheduled for a hearing in September.
So, here's where everything stands. Floyd Mayweather has sued Jonah Rechnitz for $175 million. He has also filed a $340 million claim against Showtime and Al Heyman. The legal cases are active. No one has been convicted of anything. The outcomes are not settled. Gervonta Davis is watching all of this from the outside, from the other side of a promotional split that he says cost him money. And he's posting videos that make very clear he is not losing any sleep over Floyd's problems. The internet is watching. 50 Cent is watching. Dana White is offering to help. And boxing, as it always does, found a way to make money drama more dramatic than any fight.